welcome to Extra Madness here on Ion Radio. I'm Ken, and will be your host throughout the entire series. Today we are covering Table 2 in our first round, and this matchup is between Bjorn and Bertie Wooster. Let's take a look at both fleets and then get into the action.
This fleet is a Commander Sato fleet coming in at 299 points, brought to us by Bjorn. Commander Sato is on an Assault Frigate Mk2 B with Lando Calrissian, boosted comms, and advanced projectors. There are two Nebulon-B support refits. The first one has Auxiliary Shields Team, Linked Turbolaser Towers, and the Redemption title. The second Nebulon-B includes Auxiliary Shields Team, XX9 Turbolasers, the Vanguard title, and Ordnance Experts. 4 Squadrons: Tycho Celchu, Green Squadron, and 2 A-wing Squadrons. Bertie Wooster made a 296-point TF-1726 fleet. TF is on a munificent comms frigate with medical team, B-2 rocket troopers, point defense ion cannons, linked turbolaser towers, and the Tide of Progress 12 title. There are 2 identically equipped hard cell battle refits. Both have B-2 rocket troopers and Turbolaser reroute circuits. There's a Gazanti cruiser flotilla with Ordnance Experts. And 4 squadrons, 2 Vulture droid fighters.
Let's get into the game. Bertie Wooster won initiative with a 4-point bid and elected to go second. Bjorn has the option of surprise attack, rift ambush, and volatile deposits. Choosing volatile deposits, here is how the field of battle looks after setup and deployment. Both the CIS Gazanti and the Rebel Nebulon-B on the right flank are at speed 1, all other ships at speed 2. The Redemption adds 2 shields with Auxiliary Shields Team and moves within range of the nearby asteroid field. Gazanti also moves forward 1, banking a nav token. Other ships begin to position themselves till we get to the other Nebulon-B. Once again, the side shields are reinforced with Auxiliary Shields Team. Fighters are now moving on the board, with Tycho getting into range 1 of the hard cell, setting up a future Sato shot. Asteroids are now checked at the end of the round, scoring 1 victory token for Bjorn and his rebels versus 2 for Bertie Wooster and the CIS. Turn 2. The Redemption continues to stay close to the asteroid. The CIS Gazanti does the same by dropping to speed 0. The Vanguard takes the first shot of the day, firing at long range into the closest hard cell. Even with the change to black dice due to Sato, the hard cell is able to evade, brace, and redirect 1 damage to the port side shield. Returning fire by using TRCs, the Nebulon-B is forced to evade a double and brace the remaining 2 hits, suffering only 1 on its front. The assault frigate begins by activating squadrons. Green Squadron attacks the hard cell, while an A-wing hits the Vulture squad for 1. The other generic A-wing comes in to attack the side of the hard cell, finally scoring a hit on the hull. After squadrons, the forward weapons of the assault frigate fire, reducing the hard cell's front shield to 1. The Munificent takes a turn, firing at Redemption. Only a single hit is scored, though, on the side, removing the boosted shield. A second shot is fired at the assault frigate and is easily evaded. The second hard cell attacks the assault frigate. leveraging B-2 rocket troopers, confire, and Turbolaser reroute circuits to hit with a total of 7. Spending all of its tokens, this damage is reduced to 3 and then redirected to the port side. Moving into the squadron phase, the 1 Vulture Squadron attacks the A-wing, scoring 2 hits and is countered back 4-1. At the end of the round, another 2 tokens for CIS and only 1 for the Rebels. Current score is now 30-60. Opening of turn 3 has the Vanguard blasting into the hard cell ahead. Enough damage is scored, creating the first casualty of the day. Some fighter flak is sufficient to gain a few more points. CIS responds with another salvo from the side of the Munificent into the Redemption. Shields are knocked out, and the crit is a ruptured engine. Opposite side hits the front of the assault frigate, with 3 hits being redirected into the starboard side. The assault frigate now has 0 shields on both sides and 3 on the front. Next to activate is the assault frigate. It's going to fire but only scores 1 hit on the front of that hard cell. Returning fire to the Munificent, again a single hit is redirected to the rear. With nowhere to move, the assault frigate collides with the hard cell. Sea-Rock activates the lone Vulture Squadron. Using AI, the generic A-wing Squadron is destroyed, but not before returning a 1-point counter. Redemption activates, firing a broadside into TF's flagship. 4 hits are scored, redirected to shields. A salvo is fired back, wasted, scoring no hits. Next up is the hard cell. With only a forward shot, 2 damage is scored on the front shield of the assault frigate. Again with nowhere to go, both ships ram, leaving both with 2 internal hits. Squadron phase. Tycho takes out the last Vulture Squadron, and the other A-wings reposition to capitalize on future Sato shots. At the end of the round, another token for the Rebels is won, and 2 more for CIS. Starting off the second half of the match is the assault frigate. Firing into the side of TF and blocking the salvo, 4 hits are braced and then redirected to the front shield. The second shot is into the front of the hard cell. 2 hits are braced into 1. Jumping up to speed 3, the assault frigate is able to successfully pass the hard cell, avoiding another ram damage. TF's Munificent fires on the Nebulon-B, adding an engine raid with B-2 rocket troopers. 3 red and 2 black dice are rolled, totaling 7 damage. After tossing an evade token, which only reduces this to 6, bracing it to 3, the first hit is face up. The crit, structural damage. Exact count, destroying Redemption. The Vanguard takes a shot at the hard cell, after converting both dice from the side into black dice and adding in the confire dial. 4 hits are shown. Evade and redirect are used, however a lone critical makes it through. Projector misaligned removes the remaining rear shields. The second shot, front to side, shows 2 hits. The brace is spent, adding a 4th hull hit to the hard cell. The Sea-Rock activates next, firing a Tycho, which is scattered, and increases to speed 1. The damaged hard cell shows an engineering dial and removes a damage card before firing into the down shield of the assault frigate. After tokens, 2 hits are redirected into the rear shields. Prior to moving, hard cell will flak the A-wing located nearby for 1. Adjusting to speed 3, the hope is to make a quick getaway. During the squadron phase, a bombing run is made. 1 damage is scored on the Munificent, however a salvo does 2 more to the A-wing. At the end of the round, both sides gain a single victory token. Round 5 begins with the assault frigate using its engineering dial to regain 2 shields on the port side. Firing at long range, another structural damage takes out the second hard cell. A second long-range shot at TF does minimal damage, as does the return salvo. Unable to slow down, the assault frigate moves at speed 3, hurling towards the corner of the battlefield. TF lashes out at the Vanguard, forcing all defense tokens to be spent and eliminating the front and side shields. Returning fire is mitigated, and the Nebulon-B simply moves forward. Sea-Rock opts to flak at the Squadrons, scoring 1 on green and seeing damage against Tycho being scattered. Using the dust cloud as cover, the assault frigate no longer has a shot. Squadrons reposition, no shots are fired. And at the end of round 5, 2 victory tokens are gained for Commander Sato and the Rebels. The Vanguard clears the nav raid and fires at the Gazanti. Both shots are dealt with by defense tokens, and the Nebulon-B moves forward 1. A parting side shot from the Munificent, even with LTT and a confire, results in a single hit, which is promptly evaded at long range. The assault frigate shows an engineering, removes a damage card while staying on the board. No other action happens other than the Rebels gaining a final victory token, evening up the respective token counts. The final score for Bjorn, 148 points in destroyed ships, along with 7 victory tokens, for a grand total of 253. Bertie Wooster has 80 points in ships, also has 7 victory tokens, for a combined total of 185. That is a 7-4 with a margin of victory of 68. Moving to the tournament scoreboard, Bjorn is now at position 1, while Bertie Wooster is sitting in position 4. It is too early to tell where the final cut will be made, as there are still 6 matches left to play.
Until next time, I'm Ken, and stay tuned for the next matchup on Extra Madness here on Ion Radio.